Book of John. John chapter 14, verses 17 through 19. The Spirit of the truth will guide you, will be with you forever. The Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send, will teach you all things and remind you of everything I have said to you. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends. I have called you friend, for everything that I learned from my Father I have made known to you. If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first. If you belong to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you. The journey of peace begins when we stop trying to conquer the world with our own strength and begin to build an inner life that lives beyond the circumstances through the peace of God. A life of hope, health, and happiness begins and ends with peace. Day 44 in a third world prison. It's Monday, May 19th, 2025. I'm being sent back to the U.S. very soon, next Monday to be exact. I'm reading about worry, anxiety, faith in the Journey to Happiness book. Peace of mind is under my control. I can let go of worrying about what is to come. Stay prayerful, stay grounded, and listen. The voice of wisdom is subtle. The voice of intuition is a whisper. Step away from the noise and the chaos to listen and hear. I was born in Chicago, Illinois. Growing up, I saw a lot of competitiveness, but competitiveness in the sense it was like mean-spirited. It wasn't like, oh, congratulations, building each other up. It was almost like someone has to win by stepping on someone else type mentality. And unfortunately, addiction ran in multiple generations in my families. As a result, I never really formed a close bond with anyone. And I really feel like my childhood felt chaotic. My mom really focused on my education as the answer to me having a career, connecting with people, and having a better future, breaking the cycle of poverty. But I feel like that chaos from my childhood followed me. I struggled with depression in my teen years and was conflicted with anxiety, worry, but I did fight. I worked on myself, reading self-help books, reading about philosophy. I was drawn to people that I respected and who loved me. By 2019, in my adult years, I unfortunately was completely burnt out. I woke up on my bathroom floor one morning to a pool of blood. Don't know how I got there. The last memory I had, I was waking up in bed, and then the next thing you know I was waking up. I had blacked out on my bathroom tile. I was living a life that didn't align with my values, and my body was begging me to stop and to heal. And I was ready to let go of those aspects of my life that did not align with my values. And I thought about living even in another country at one point to just explore the world and grow. I did not have a fiance. I did not have a long-term relationship. There was no children in my life. And I had stepped away from my family to take care of myself and to heal myself. My thought was, if I end up not meeting someone and having children, then I was committed to dedicating my life to spiritual study, like a monastery or like monk type lifestyle. So living very simply and focusing to the practice of spiritual study and service to my community. But then 2020 happened, the pandemic, and that was around the time that I met the abuser. And I shared what I planned to do, my hopes, my dreams, and what I was struggling with. In hindsight, I recognize now he was very fixated on winning me over. And initially, I was flattered by it. And I thought that what he was doing was displaying love for me. But I was also very overwhelmed and scared by his tactics and his behavior. And unfortunately, as time went on, I became lost. And I always had this haunting feeling that I need to be careful with this person because he was dangerous. And I had to try to figure out how to manage the relationship and get away peacefully. But every time I broke up with this abuser, he'd eventually convince me to accept him back into my life. And then the abuse would be way worse than before as soon as I let him back in. I couldn't believe it. I would exclaim to him, "What are you doing? You're wasting our time. Like, you literally promised that you're going to get help. You literally promised that things are going to be better. And yet you're doing XYZ. Like, it's even worse than before. Like, this is ridiculous." I have to forgive myself. I'm horrified that my daughter has been taken from me. I'm horrified that no one will help us. The level of apathy towards domestic abuse, child abuse, deeply frightens me. So there are a list of things that I need to make sure taken care of in the next 5 days. Number one, where's my hard drive? Where's my cell phone? Where's my passport? Where's my daughter's birth certificate? Where are all the paperwork that the police took from me? Because they had told me when they took it that they were going to give it back in 24 to 48 hours. And that was basically 4 weeks. No, it's over 6 weeks ago that they said that. And I still did not have any of my possessions back. They didn't return it to the prison to be stored with my stuff. I had no idea what was going on. I also reached out to my family. There was a woman, an advocate, who claimed that she was a women's rights advocate, helped Laura, I think her name was Laura Blandon, who unfortunately was murdered by the police. She claimed that she helped this woman's family in their case, and she was fundraising for my family and I. It was time for me to buy my plane ticket, so I followed up with my mother. Okay, like the money that she's been raising, I know she's raised like over $800. Like, for whatever reason, she didn't give us the money for the lawyer fees. She claimed she didn't have enough, but that is enough money to buy me a one-way plane ticket back to the US. My mother explained to her that she approached this woman, this advocate, and she just blatantly said, "No, I don't have the money anymore." And my mom was like, "But if you look online at the GoFundMe page, it clearly says that you have a certain amount of money." She said, point blank, without any further explanation, "It's gone. I don't have it anymore." When I spoke to my cousin, he said he actually gave money to my lawyer, Mr. Neal, who I hadn't heard from since the court hearing the previous week in Punta Gorda. He said, "Hey, I gave your lawyer money for the plane ticket." And this lawyer, Mr. Neal, was nowhere to be found.